Dairymen, they smell this air, they laugh and joke and kid about it, but they say, it smells like money to me. And so we're stuck smelling that. Doesn't smell like money to us.
Well, that's right. And then when they do their expanding, we're never notified to come in any hearing of any kind to voice our opinion on it. They just expand, and that's the way it is. And you call these different agencies, and nobody knows anything. Which they do, they just don't want to tell you what's going on.
Behind us, they're digging a pipeline to put a pipe in. The county issued a permit before the public hearing. Today is the 23rd of February. The public hearing is not until March 20th. We're concerned that they're going to use it to pipe across and to spread their liquid manure into the fields. And then that would make our air quality even worse than it is now. And as you can see, nobody is regulating this. This is what concerns us here. We're just a small community. But as you can see, we're up against people that don't care. They don't care about what we feel, our health. It just has to do with money. This man lives in Yakima, and he lives about 20 miles away, so he doesn't have to smell this manure all the time.
Are you our neighbors?
Yeah, I live in Hera. Yeah. I called the courthouse, and they said that this wasn't supposed to go forward, and you were told to cease and desist yesterday at 11 o'clock.
We were told on the 12th to just go ahead and dig it.
Yes,
and there'll be a hearing after it's all done. We were told to start, and we started. And we were told to finish, and we're going to finish. And I tried to explain to you the best I could how the water from these fields runs off into our into our feedlot, fills up our lagoons, which causes us all sorts of nightmares. And all we're trying to do is simplify that process and make it easier for everybody.
You know, I know you have a permit, but the public meeting is what concerns us, that you don't have any regard for our feelings in the matter.
No, I don't agree with that. I mean, we were told to start.
Who told you?
And so we can start.
Because I know your cloud of dust in the evenings and cow manure dust or particles goes down into that valley, you can see it.
Yeah.
If you have any questions about what we do here, I just encourage you to call us. Instead of bringing these guys that need cameras.
Well, he's videotaping out here, and I don't need it done.
That's against the law, buddy.
Yeah?
You're
Get out of here.
You're on a county.
Get out of
on the
here.
road. It's against the law.
Get out of here.
People understood how what we were doing. You guys could be out playing golf.
Well, that's why my throat's this way. 3 years ago, I walked out of my house and a manure, it was a ammonia, I guess, from the manure. It was like I walked into a brick wall, just slapped me in the face.
You don't have a right.
Kevin, come on. Get off this camera, man.
You don't have a right. You don't have a right.
Don't have a right.
Leave.
I have lived here 12 years. My husband's lived here all his life. You know, what did they say? Why don't you move away? Well, we own this land, so why should we have to move?
When I built my house, there was no dairy there. I didn't know I was going to have to breathe that and live with that the rest of my life, because being retired, you just can't get up and move. When we first started protesting because they were building this, we had some people over, we were standing at the end of my driveway taking pictures of what they're doing over there. Guy come over and wanted to know what we thought we were doing. And we're taking pictures. We got in a little heated argument because this is my property. He ain't gonna tell me what I can do on my property. This is my yard, my driveway, and he's gonna tell me what I can and I can't do. Them people think they own everything.
Today, we were trying to take photographs of what's going on here, and the cameraman and the newsman was actually accosted by people and pushed and shoved and told to get off the road because this was their property. They seem to feel that they own the county roads. There's been many a time that members of my organization have been chased off of county roads because we were trespassing.
We've been trying to get out of here for the last 2 or 3 years since I retired, but it hasn't looked too good so far. I don't know who'd buy it. right now the way it is. When other property's been sold around here, the realtors won't show them where the lagoons are.
You see that little pipe sticking about? I've been watching that. And that's where you can see manure bubbling out. I mean, it goes up that high from that pipe. That is disgusting. Yeah, I can see it from my living room window. It runs most of the time. You know, they're standing over there with binoculars watching us.
Yeah, they're watching.
Oh, they just shut it off?
Yeah, they just shut it off.
See, we're not paranoid.
Well, I'm John Adams, and I've lived here for 66 years. I've lived here all my life, and this is farming country. And I know there's going to be a certain amount of smells, and there's going to be dust, but some mornings I get up and come out here, it's so strong I can't even stand it outside. We got to stay inside our house lots of times in the summer with the air conditioner going, trying to keep away from these smells.
It was a pretty nice area to begin with. For the last 17 years, the dairy has expanded its operation by double.
This used to be a lake here years ago called Mud Lake, and this drain you see here was a man-made drain that drains everything out. And so, yeah, I'd like to know how much pollutants come into it, because I have a well here, domestic well for my house and what have you.
That creek used to have salmon and steelhead come up and spawn in it, and of course they don't do that anymore.
Well, I think anybody's got a right to come in and earn a living, but this was always a kind of a small farm neighborhood, and now, you know, these feedlots are huge.
And that used to be called Black Creek, but a few years ago SVID took over the maintenance of it, so now it's called Ditch 9. 40 years ago was pretty much all some of the best prime pheasant hunting and duck hunting in the state.
This is a man that has worked here most of his adult life, and he had built his dream house. This was where they were going to retire and spend their golden years. And then the hop field that was there was torn down, the orchard was torn down, the sewage lagoon was built in a wetlands area, and now his dream retirement has turned into an absolute nightmare.
I grew up on a 365-acre olive ranch in Northern California. And we had cows. My grandfather had cows. I'm not a city boy.
All the people that we've spoken to today have been farmers, and they are trying to protect their property rights, and they're trying to protect their way of life because it's being destroyed. It's absolutely being destroyed by the existence of these industrial operations out here in agricultural areas.
People have a right to farm, but if you read the law also, I was here first. These houses were here first, before that operation. Now, if he was there and then I built my house, I would not have a right to have any say about what comes off of there.
People's lives have been here, you know. Regular farming don't cause a bunch of problems here. It's just the size of these feedlots, and the enormous size of them that's causing the problem.
Just woke up one morning and the farmers all were gone.
That was the middle of the Dust Bowl, where the wheat grows, the oil flows, and the farmer owes. People ain't been living right. Human race ain't been treating each other right. Been robbing each other of fountain pens. So, time had come when the river was there to cross, and everybody just said, well, this is the end. This is the end of the world.